Good morning. My name is Sue, and as you probably know from Turners Falls Paranormal, I like to do ghost hunts. And so, in honor of Halloween that's coming up, I have a couple of suggestions that are in the Massachusetts area that are either so cheap it wouldn't matter or are free. Now, obviously, one of the free ones would be an outdoor one. So we have extremely old cemeteries in the area. Unfortunately, most of them I do know are in Franklin County. However, I have been to several in the area. So I will start with the cemetery on State Street in Springfield, Mass. This is a very interesting place where I have picked up many EVPs, and it also has a monument to the Titanic. Now, these are people that died that lived in the Springfield area with their names inscribed. They also have many, many stones with faces. That's not as common in this area as others, but it's highly recommended for anybody that's interested in old monuments, any hauntings, things like that. My next one, if I was going to go north of there, is in South Hadley, Massachusetts. There is a lady that was unidentified for 40 years who had been found dead along the side of the road by some hunters. Now, she was just identified a few months ago, and her grave is very easy to find. It's located in a cemetery in South Hadley or Granby. I recommend that. My next one is to go up to Bernardston. Now, Bernardston is the last town on Route 91 to be before you go to Vermont. You take the Bernardston exit, go north like you're going to Northfield, and take the first road, Ball Mountain Road, on the left. You follow that until it makes like a curve, and you go on to Burke Meadow Road, and it's the second dirt road on the left. Follow it to the end, and you will find an amazing cemetery, all from the 1700s, early 1700s, and continue until today. It is used as of this day. So at that cemetery, we have had voices, shadows, and the most amazing thing that happened was that we were walking, and my friend had an Ovilus, and on the Ovilus it said couch, and we laughed. What did they want us to sit down? And it was a whole row of people with the last name Couch. That also is free. Now we go to Montague. Montague Center is on Route 63. It's about a half mile past Swamp Road coming from Miller's Falls. On the right-hand side is an old schoolhouse from the year 1821, I believe. It was built by Dwight Mooney, the father of the founder of the Northfield School for Girls and the Mount Hermon schools. This place has had voices, apparitions, full-body apparitions. I have myself witnessed. And also, one time when I was having horrible pains, a person took a picture of me where a swan was sitting on my shoulder who had a pinched nerve. That night, the pain went away. There are no swans in that schoolhouse. That schoolhouse is available. All you have to do is contact me through the Turners Falls Paranormal site, Turners Falls Paranormal at yahoo.com. And I would be glad to set up any meeting you have. That's inside. It's not heated and there's no electricity, but it's a wonderful place. My next stop is Old Deerfield, which is very close to where we are. Old Deerfield was where there was an Indian war in, I believe, 1717, around then. And many people are buried in a mound. There's also stories about how they died on some of the gravestones. It's an absolutely marvelous cemetery. You go to Deerfield Academy, go to the rear of the school, and on the left there's that cemetery there that's open and free to anybody. You also could go to Old Deerfield itself. Old Deerfield itself is an amazing place where you can actually see where an axe was thrown into a door. It is still there, the original. However, there is a slight charge to go into these buildings. You would have to contact them to find out. My next one is just basically across the street from the Deerfield Academy, back onto Route 5 and 10, across the street, Eaglebrook School. Follow the road up to Eaglebrook School, and as you get to the top of the hill, you will see a cemetery on the left. That is an amazing cemetery. It must have 1,000 graves, and there's hundreds of people that have died of tuberculosis and smallpox that are buried there, and it's identified on these stones. I've had many EVPs. Some very strange things happen there. I highly recommend that. Now we're going to go a little bit further to the east, in Harvard, Mass. Harvard, Mass is an amazing place. It was so amazing that I actually went there and spent the night so I could be there and witness everything. It's the old Shaker Cemetery. It is a little hard to find, but once you find it, it's easy. It's right on the side of the road, and you can contact the Historical Society. They'll tell you all about it. It consists of the Shakers, where they were buried, and each monument or gravestone is actually a metal piece that appears to be a lollipop from far away. Amazing cemetery. I highly recommend it. There now, when you get down a little bit, there is the Gardner Mansion. The Gardner Mansion is an amazing place. However, it's hard to get an appointment, and it is expensive. You can go on their site and you can look. I've had great experiences there, but I will tell you that is a charge. Then if you continue down Route 2 and you go to a place called Concord. Now, you just keep on going on Route 2 until you come to a rotary. Once you come to a rotary in Concord, there's the MCI's jail. Just before you get to the wall, you turn right and you go into the parking lot. Park at the far end of the parking lot and go down into, like, it looks like a field. Off to the left is an amazing prison cemetery where murderers and things that actually were executed or died from before the sentence was done, and nobody claimed their body. There's about 100 graves out there. An amazing thing. An interesting thing is that I left my camera there overnight, and I got a picture of a man lifting up the camera and looking at it, and nothing happened. At the Shaker Cemetery, somebody stole it. So the rich town of Harvard, the people stole it. The poor people that are, convicted felons, most of them, they left there. So just an amazing fact. Now there's one other place that I find absolutely amazing. That is going back toward Western Mass. It's in Rutland, Mass. It is the Rutland State Park. If you go to the state park and go through the side, you will find what's called the old Rutland Prison Camp. That is amazing. It's worth the trip. It's worth the time. There's old buildings. I've had EVPs. I've had everything. K2s, Ovilus, whatever instrument you bring, pods, they all react. There's actually an old cave in the back where you can go. An amazing place. Plan to spend the day. It's wonderful, and it is free. If you continue on, you can go to back to South Deerfield, a place I forgot. My girlfriend and I actually went to a very small cemetery, probably 30 or 40 graves, and there, on the main street of town, we went out to see if there was anything there, went to set up our equipment, and the first thing it said is, "Get out." It then said, "I mean it," and then it said, "Run." Well, we left. just out of curiosity. Now, there are several other places, but the two places that you can go where it's not going to get wet or anything is like the little schoolhouse, which is an amazing place. I highly, highly recommend it. The Gardner Mansion, Rutland Prison Camp, where you can be protected by the cave. And I'm going to cover one more place that I have not seen mentioned online, and that is in Falmouth, Massachusetts. It is the Knights of Columbus. They have a ghost tour or hunt on a Saturday night, and it was $10 and included a ham dinner with baked beans, delicious dinner. And this place, I had an experience that I have not had an experience before. It was, I believe it was an issue of a man himself being haunted. This man was, every time he came into the room, everything went off. The flashlights, the K2, the Ovilus, you name it. He left, the room was dead. Pardon the pun. But I actually had a flashlight roll up a hill and roll so fast it flew off the table, to my amazement. Now, this is on kind of a unsteady table, so I kept on rolling one direction. So I put my pocketbook with the flashlight against it so it wouldn't keep on rolling. And this flashlight rolled the opposite direction away from my pocketbook. Now, anybody has any questions, they can contact me. I've really, really enjoyed this, and I hope that I will hear from some people and they'd be interested in contacting me about the small schoolhouse. I will be doing another one with other places, but this is my first and my best, I think. Thank you.